Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about the excuses which you use, which many companies use to not implement or not use a project management system. So a project management system is a system using which it is a tool actually. So it is a tool using which you can track, you can manage your projects, you can track the progress, you can log your tickets, you can log your user stories, you can create your bugs even in that kind of system, and it becomes a kind of single source of truth for your project. Some examples like Jira, Unfuddle, Microsoft Project. There are lots of tools in the market. So I have worked with different organizations, and when we try to introduce a kind of system, a kind of tool, so we hear different kind of excuses actually. And today I'm going to give you a list of those excuses and how, if you are also facing the same kind of excuses, how you can try to tell the different story. So let's start on this one. So the first excuse which you hear is that we are small companies. They usually say that such kind of systems are only for bigger organizations. When you are investing thousands and thousands of dollars to something, to create something really big, well, that is not correct. In fact, whenever you will speak to any industry expert, they will tell you that introduction of any new thing or any new tool or any new process is really easy with smaller companies. If you want to do something new in a very big organization, it takes time. Sometimes it can take years actually. In smaller companies, it can be implemented within days or within weeks actually. Because in smaller companies we have less number of people, less number of restrictions, less number of resistance actually. So implementing something in smaller companies is really easy. That's why the Agile movement has been mostly started by smaller companies, adopted by smaller companies, and then uh, uh, startups usually use Agile methodology a lot. At enterprise level, Agile become a really a different thing. Like safe framework, like many other framework has been adopted to scale the Agile for bigger organization. To implement anything new, I'm repeating, to implement or to adopt a new thing is in smaller companies is really easier than bigger companies. So if you hear this excuse that we are a small company, you can just end up saying that, okay, do you really always want to be like that? What you will do when you will become big? Or do you really have that kind of mindset? Usually, there is a saying that you uh, become what you start acting like. If you will start acting like a big one, you will become big. If you will start or you will always, act like small, you will always be small actually. Okay, so second excuse which I usually hear that I'm already using Excel sheets. And I somehow, if I, see that a company is using Excel sheet to manage their projects, their things, so, somehow it gives me a sense of happiness actually, if those are smaller companies. That at least they understand the need of managing few things. At least they know that, okay, there is a value in managing few things. They know that if you cannot track, if you cannot measure, you cannot effectively manage those things. So at least mindset is there. As far as the utility of the Excel sheet is concerned, yes, Excel sheet is a good tool. You can do lots of things. But when it comes to collaboration, when it comes to being the single source of the truth, when it comes to availability at any kind of platform, easily when it comes to giving kind of alerts, kind of notification. Excel is nowhere. You need to use a specialized software, a specialized system for that purpose. So if you are using Excel sheets, that's fine. But now you need to move to the next stage. Now you need to elevate your level. You always don't want to be, in the same situation always. So let's start doing something big. Let's start using something better. Okay, so and this is one of the major excuse which I really normally hear from the team, that it's an extra work. They usually end up saying that, okay, if I need to create a ticket, if I need to create a story, and then I need to update this system on daily basis, then that means this is an extra work for me. Yes, they are correct. This is an extra work in the short term. But the benefit we get from these kind of systems, the visibility we get from these kind of system is actually going to save lots of hours in the future, and that will be a fixed kind of saving for the future. So yes, it may be say 2 to 3% or say up to 5% extra days, extra work in any specific day. It can be, especially in the start, it can be like that. Like, when you are first time creating your system, you are moving everything to your such kind of system, so definitely it is going to take some extra time. But in the end, you will end up being a winner, because it will give the visibility, it will track your system, it will be completely useful, and you don't need to wait for years to see the results. Results will be visible within weeks. Okay, if it cannot be within weeks, definitely within months you will see the result. Okay, so this is another excuse which I hear, that our other team use something else. Okay, actually, I'll take this not an excuse. This is just a reason. Yes, I usually suggest that all teams should try to utilize the same kind of system, because if you are a team is still smaller, it is only 30-40 people team, and even 30-40 people are using different kind of tools, then there are some challenges that you are not helping actually. So yes, I see the merit in these kind of excuses, and in these kind of situations we need to come up with a SWOT analysis, with a comparison analysis, that either the new things or the new tool which we are trying to implement, can all the work which we are supposed to do can be done in the other tool which other teams are using. If yes, you can go with that tool. If all the things which we are planning in the coming future can be done in that other tool, yes, then we should move to. So actually, this excuse just become a comparison between a new thing which you are being asked to implement, or the thing which other team is already using. So it's just a comparison one. It doesn't say that you shouldn't use at all. If other teams are using, that means that you see some kind of benefit in these activities. And in this case, actually it's just about utilizing a different kind of system. So just do a proper analysis, just a proper comparison of the benefits in the short term and in the long term of all these tools. Licensing cost and all these things also play a bigger role in such kind of comparisons. Just do that and go ahead with your plan. Okay. Okay, and this is one of the greatest excuse which I have, seen in the market, that I trust my team, so I do not need to track them. Yes, you should only work with the people uh, on which you have some kind of trust. Trust can be anything. Trust can be in the character of the person, trust can be in the ability of that person, trust can be at different level. Uh, but trust doesn't mean that you shouldn't put a system in place. By using a tracking system or a management system, it's not like that you are going to judge someone, or you are uh, uh, not trusting them. You are just trying to gather, you are just trying to collaborate, because they are different kind of people. You cannot trust the data. Yes, you should always, in the smaller team, in a core team, you should always lead by the trust. But when team grows, when team biggers uh, become bigger than what they are, then you also need to put a system in place where everything can be tracked. And if anyone, due to any reason, is not performing at the optimal level, then you can identify those kind of gaps, and then you can try to help them. It's not about not trusting them, it's actually about helping them. So it's not about, again, I'm repeating, it's not about that not you are not trusting them. It's only about that you want to help the system, you want to help those people, because mostly the people who are trustable, who are helping you, who are with you in each and every kind of situations, they deserve something better. They there are always some kind of firefighting in organizations, and mostly this is due to bad organization, bad management of the project, or some kind of bad culture around the systems. If you can improve that, those people will be really happy. And if they think that it's a trust issue, then definitely trust was not there. Yeah, so this is again a. So my team is already busy in doing real business work. Another big excuse which I see, that okay, because we have to cope with a very quick time to market. That's why we cannot do all these extra things. That's somehow uh, again just not real actually. Yes, you are busy. That is a truth. But have you tried to evaluate why you were so busy? What were the reasons? Why you needed to do the same thing twice or thrice? How many bugs were reported? How many times system were broken? Do you have all these kind of data? And can a mistake by one person, if he has learned, because mistake always are good in a sense that they always come with some kind of learning. So do you have a system that other person can also take learning from that mistake, or that learn lessons? If not, that means you will do the same mistake again, you will waste the resources again. So yes, using any kind of new system, yes, there is always, I usually see that 3 to 5% extra work on daily basis, especially in the first week, it can be even 10 to 20%. But there is a value, there is a real value in the long term. And they always say again that it's an extra dollar cost. It's a software, you need to pay maybe the monthly fee, maybe yearly fee, or a perpetual license fee maybe. So yeah, this is an extra cost. But how much it is? $100, $200, $50? That's it. Just most of these smaller companies of 30, 40 people can just deal the cost even less than 200 or $300 per month. and you will see the value. This is nothing in front of the benefit which you will get, and you can easily quantify those benefits just after 2 3 months when you will see the progress. In the first month of any system, you will see that how distributed or how disturbed, I should say, uh, resources were, and then you will see that things are being fall into place and they are improving, so this cost will be easily recovered. And I always say this, that if in your system you don't have a single source of truth, if you need to go back to different system just to track your system, if just to get one single report, you need to go to 3 or 4 persons, then you are just uh, you know doing bad for your organization. There has to be a single source of truth. Like in coding or programming assignment, I usually say that your version control, your Git repository is your single source of truth. Your project management should also act as your single source of truth. Yes, there is a learning curve. There will always be some kind of resistance in the start, especially from the third party vendors, because they don't want their things to be tracked. They And it's not always about intentions that they have bad intentions. It's also about that they may not be used to that. But in the end, you need to think about it, that if you don't have a single source of truth in your system, are you really doing good for your business? I'm repeating, yes, there will be some initial time investment, there will be a learning curve, but in the end, there are benefits. And it's not just my words. Just go around, just do some kind of research, that which kind of benefits usually these tools bring to the table. Which tools you are going to use, that's entirely up to you. You will do your analysis, what is good for you or what is not good for you. Sometimes just a Kanban board is good for you. Sometimes just a small sprint Jira management system is good for you. Sometimes it may be really robust bug management system which you may need, but there has to be a single source of truth. There shouldn't be any compromise on the single source of truth. That is very important part of all this whole presentation. Choose any system, choose any processes, choose any tool, but don't ever compromise on the single source of truth. Never ever. Thank you.